Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Prakashika. Today in the playlist Programming Questions on C, C++, Python for placements, I have got a question regarding arrays and pointers. Before we see the question on arrays and pointers, we all know what is an array. So, array is a derived data type, we can tell, where we want to store multiple elements, more than one values, but all of them are of the same data type. In C and C++, the array index starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, and it goes on, and there is no negative index for arrays. Whereas in Python also, we don't have a concept like arrays, we have a concept called as list. The only differences between arrays and list is in list you can have a group of elements of different data types as well, uh, or of the same data type also, but we call it as a list. There is no predefined word like an array. And in Python, negative index is also available, that is -1, -2 is also there. And the array elements are stored in continuous memory allocations, which we call as contiguous memory allocations. And we know pointer is also a kind of data type, but it is a special variable. Why? All variables store some value, uh, but here the value that it stores is the address of another variable. Most of the times arrays and pointers are considered to be the same, but actually arrays and pointers, they form a Venn diagram like this. If this is a pointer and this circle represents a concept of arrays, pointers and arrays have some intersection, so they are not the same, but they are related. However they are related, the name of the array itself is a pointer. Whenever we say pointer, it means it is pointing to some other variable. Pointing to means it is holding the address of another variable. So the name of the array itself is considered as a pointer. You don't have to declare another pointer. You can declare, but it is not required. That is what they're trying to tell. Another pointer which holds the address of the first element in the array whose index is 0. So we will deal with the concept of pointers and arrays, understand them using the small question in C. The answer would be the same if you turn the same, convert this code into C++ as well. So the answer is not given. We have to analyze what would be the output of this program when we run on some compiler. Stdio.h is the standard input output header file inbuilt. We are using the printf statement. And then int main, so all C programs should have at least one main function, which is a special kind of function. And we are declaring an array element. The name of the array is array itself. You could have taken any name. How many elements are there? We are declaring it beforehand. There are 5 elements. If you declare more than that, it will not consider that. If you declare less than that, depending upon the kind of compiler you are using, suppose you had given the array elements as 5 and you had declared only the first 3 elements, say 5, 17, 12. The remaining elements will be 0 or it could be junk values. It depends on the design. And the array, what type of elements we are storing, all of them are integers. So whenever we say int, it is always by default signed in, so you can have negative values as well, 0 positive values. Excuse me. Then we are declaring one more pointer, star ptr. Star indicates it is a special variable. The name of the pointer is ptr, and it is of type int because we are pointing it to an array which is of type. And where it is pointing to, it is pointing to array plus 3. Array plus 3 actually means the third element, like that. We will see that later, exactly what exactly this line means. Then we are incrementing the pointer by 1, and whatever is the value of the pointer and array, that will be printed. So what is the output of this printf statement is what we have to analyze. So whenever a coding question is given on pointers or arrays, it is better you put uh, a format like this. For loops and all, as I told in the previous video, you put a table, but for arrays and pointers you put like this. So what is the array element? 5, 17, 12, -3 and 8. So what are their indexes? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and these are the five elements we have. And why it is 0 here and not starting from 1? Because we see this is the base address. I have taken some random address in hexadecimal. You could have taken it in decimal as well. This is just for analyzing purpose, and you can take any number you want. So, and integer, because it contains elements of integer type, I have assumed integer is 4 bytes. It could be 2 bytes as well. So array of 0 will be the first element. Every other address will be an offset of that. So that is what the index indicates. So array of 0 is the element itself, no offset is required, that's why the index is 0. Plus 1 indicates from the starting address of the array, it is plus 1. So 400 in hexadecimal, plus 1 should be 401. Why it is 404? Because here plus 1, in terms of whenever we come to pointer additions, the value that you put plus 1 plus 2, it's basically scale factor. So because this is an integer, the scale factor would be the size of the bytes. So it will be plus 1 will be actually plus 4, plus 2 will be actually 2 into 4, which is plus 8, 2 times the scale factor, which is 4 bytes we are taking, plus 3, so which is 3 times the scale factor. The scale factor here would be 4 bytes, because we are assuming integer as 4 bytes and the array is of integer type. So that will be 12. 12 in hexadecimal comes to C. And then next will be 16. 16 comes to 410. Could have taken any address here and also in any number system. So whenever we have questions on arrays and pointers, so just write boxes like this, uh, um, and then assign some random address, and it will be easy to understand. And we have already seen in the previous slide that the name of the array itself is a pointer. So what is the name of the array? We have declared as array. So the name of the array is a pointer, which was the address of the first element. So what is the address of? So there is a memory location in the stack where the name of that memory location is an array. That is the name of the array. That's why could have taken a of 0 also. And what is that location holding? The address of the first element, which I have taken it as 0x400, because this is some memory location in stack. This also has an address. And what is ptr? Ptr is array plus 3. So this is array. Array of 0 means it is the base address, the first element, plus 3 means it comes to here, which is 0x403. 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3. So 0 plus 3 is 3. So ptr is a pointer which is holding the address of array of 3, which they have written it as array plus 3. You could have also written it as ampersand of the name of the array I have taken is array ampersand of 3. It would have been the same. So 0x403. So there is a variable called ptr in stack, which is holding the value 040c. So this ptr is another variable. So this also has an address. I have assumed a random address of 0x4a. Why it is not random here? Because array allocation is contiguous, but others could be random. It need not be next to each other, continuous, like in this case with respect to array. It could be somewhere else also in random positions. So now we have put a visual representation for these two lines along with the address, everything. Now it is ptr is equal to ptr plus 1. So as I said, whenever we are dealing with pointer arithmetic, uh, whatever addition we do or subtraction we do, it is the scale factor. Whenever we say scale factor, it is the number of bytes. Okay, so scale factor will be, it is plus 1 is given, so 1 into the number of so 1 translates to plus 4. Why? Because this is integer. So 0x40c plus 4. So 0x40c plus 4. This is hexadecimal, so this becomes 0x410. And what is that? Nothing but ptr now has the value what? Now let me take another pen, another color pen. Yeah. So PTR no longer stores the value 0x40. See, it is now pointing to the last element of the array 0x410. So PTR was earlier here. Now it has moved to pointing to this element which is holding 8. So 0x40 to 0x400 is one byte of location, 401 is another byte, 402 is another byte, 403 is another byte. So totally 4 bytes to store the value 5 of integer in 4 bytes, assuming the compiler takes 4 bytes. Now this line also we have analyzed. What is the last line? You have to printf value is equal to percentage d. So for percentage d, what is mapping? PTR minus array. So what is PTR now? PTR is nothing but 0x410. And what is the name of the array? Name of the array is a pointer. You can do pointer arithmetic on normal pointers, but name of the array you can never do. Say something like array plus plus, you can never do that. You could do ptr plus plus, ptr minus minus, ptr plus 1 plus 2, and again when we say plus 1 plus 2, it depends on the scale factor. So scale factor depends on the data type that pointer is pointing to, data type of the variable that pointer is pointing to. So even that pointer will take the same data type. So if array was float, then PTR would have been float, then plus 1 would have been the number of bytes that a float would be taking in. We can never do that. It is a constant pointer. So those are the small difference between arrays and pointers. So name of the array we can tell is a constant pointer rather than just a pointer. So name of the array you can never change it. It will throw a compiler error. So 0x400. 400 basically 0x means hexadecimal. So what would this give? So if you try to do it in the calculator or on this program, this would be 4. So that is, we are trying to measure what now array is pointing here, the first element, and PTR is here. So PTR was earlier here, now PTR has moved here. So between the first and the, we are trying to do the subtraction. So how many elements are there from the first to last? So this would be the value. If you run it on a compiler, this would be 4. That is, this is pointing to the first element 1 2 3 4. Suppose you take 10 minus 6. Okay, in normal decimal you have 6 7 8 9 10, correct, on the number line. So you are doing 10 minus 6. So how many elements? 1 2 3 4, correct, that is the difference. Similarly, instead of 10 here we have the address 0x410 which PTR is pointing to. Instead of 6 we have the array of zeros address which is 0x400. So there are 4 elements. So the answer is value is equal to 4 is what will be printed. Additionally, you can go through these two codes. So this is, they have declared random array and they are trying to print the address of the array element along with the array element. This is one method. And here they are using another pointer variable to print the array element and its address. So PA is another external pointer pointing to the first element, although array itself is a pointer.